He heard the sound before he saw anything. Soft footsteps, steady breathing, and a calm female voice counting slowly. The Mafia boss stopped in the hallway, one hand still on his phone, the other frozen in the air. His blind daughter was laughing, not the weak, broken laugh he knew, but a confident sound, full of balance, full of life. And the woman guiding her, the silent housemaid everyone ignored, was standing straight, focused, strong. In that moment, the most feared man in the city forgot how to move, and forgot how to speak, because for the first time, he was seeing something he had never bothered to look at before. The housemaid's name was Elena. Most people did not know it, and those who did, never used it. To them, she was just the maid. The woman who cleaned floors, washed blood from expensive carpets, and stayed invisible. Elena spoke little, not because she was weak, but because silence had taught her survival. She had arrived at the mansion 3 years earlier, after her husband died in a factory accident, after the company refused responsibility, after her voice failed her in court. She needed work, any work. The Mafia boss, Viktor Karev, needed loyalty more than kindness. He hired her without questions. From the first day, Elena understood the rules. Do not look, do not listen, do not react. So she became a shadow, moving softly through marble halls, absorbing insults like dust, lowering her eyes when men laughed at her silence. But every evening, when the mansion grew quiet, she heard something else, a young girl crying behind a closed door. Victor's daughter, Sophia, lost her sight at the age of 8, after a car explosion meant for her father. Doctors came from other countries. Therapists were paid fortunes. Nothing helped. Sophia stopped believing in mornings. She stopped trusting her own steps. She stopped speaking to her father. Victor ruled cities with fear, but could not rule his own guilt. He bought toys Sophia could not see. He hired teachers who did not understand her. He shouted at servants when she cried. And every time Sophia screamed in the night, Elena felt it inside her chest, like an old wound opening again. Elena had once been a trainer. Not famous, not rich. She trained children with disabilities. Balance, movement, trust. She stopped after her husband died, after grief took her voice away. One night, she found Sophia sitting alone on the floor, hands shaking, breathing fast. Elena did not speak. She simply sat beside her. Minutes passed, then more. Slowly, Sophia reached out and touched Elena's sleeve. That was the beginning. They started in silence, Elena guiding Sophia's hands, teaching her how to feel the space, how to listen to her own breath, how to trust the floor under her feet. No one noticed, no one cared. The guards were busy, the boss was busy, the house was loud with power. But in one quiet room, hope was learning to stand. Days became weeks, weeks became months. Sophia stopped falling. She stopped crying every night. She started asking questions. Elena answered softly, patiently, never demanding gratitude. She knew how fragile hope could be. One afternoon, Victor returned early from a meeting gone wrong. Angry, tense, he walked through the mansion, planning punishment, planning control. Then he heard counting. 1, 2, 3. A voice he did not recognize. He followed the sound, and that is when he saw them. His blind daughter, walking across the room without a cane, her back straight, her steps confident, and the maid, standing close, hands ready but not touching, eyes sharp, fully present. Victor felt something collapse inside him. Rage came first. How dare she touch my child? How dare she decide anything here? He stepped forward. Elena noticed him immediately. She froze. Sophia stopped walking. The room held its breath. Victor opened his mouth, but no words came out. Because Sophia smiled, not a polite smile, a real one. Papa, she said, did you see that? I walked by myself. Victor's hands started shaking. Elena lowered her head, ready for punishment, ready to lose everything. She had known this moment would come. I am sorry, she whispered. Victor finally spoke. His voice was cold. How long? Elena answered truthfully. 6 months. The guards shifted nervously. Victor looked at Elena like she was a threat, then like she was nothing. You disobeyed me, he said. Elena nodded. I will accept any consequence. Sophia stepped forward and held Elena's hand. Papa, please do not take her away. Victor felt trapped by his power, by his fear. He ordered everyone out. That night, he watched through cameras. He reviewed footage. He saw Elena guiding Sophia patiently. He saw her encouraging without pushing. He saw something no money had bought. And something broke. The next morning, Elena was called to his office. She expected dismissal, maybe worse. Victor did not sit behind his desk. He stood by the window. Why? He asked. Did you do this? Elena spoke slowly, because no one else listened to her. Silence followed. Victor turned. His eyes were tired. You could have asked. Elena shook her head. You would have said no. He knew she was right. For the first time, Victor Karev felt small. From that day, everything changed quietly. Elena was no longer invisible. But she did not become loud. She continued training Sophia, slowly, carefully. Sophia grew stronger, more confident, more alive. And Victor watched, learning patience for the first time. But the world Victor lived in does not forgive weakness. His enemies noticed changes. His men whispered. They said the boss was soft. They said the maid had influence. One night, betrayal came from inside. An explosion rocked the mansion. Shots echoed. In the chaos, Sophia was taken. Elena did not scream. She ran. She followed sounds. She followed instinct. She found Sophia hiding, trembling, but standing, just like she was taught. They escaped together. When Victor found them alive, covered in dust but unbroken, he fell to his knees, not in front of his men, but in front of Elena. You saved her, he said. Elena answered. She saved herself. The traitor was punished. Power was restored. But justice came quietly. Victor shut down the operations that killed families like Elena's. He funded centers for children like Sophia. He did not become a saint, but he became a father. Elena was offered money, status, freedom. She chose something else, a training center, a place where silence healed. On the opening day, Sophia walked beside her father, without fear, and Elena stood nearby, still quiet, still strong. The Mafia boss looked at her, and nodded, not as an owner, not as a ruler, but as a man, who finally understood that true power does not command, it protects.